Part 2, The 100 Dresses 1. Now we have seen in the previous video that how Wanda Petronsky, a Polish girl, she was mocked at by Peggy and Madeline, her classmates. And we have also seen that how she sits in the last seat, in the last row in the room number 13. And now we see further. The time when they thought about Wanda was outside of school hours, at noontime when they were coming back from school, or in the morning early before school began, when groups of two or three and even more would be talking and laughing on their way to the school yard. So they only remembered Wanda twice. One when they were going back from the school, and in the morning when they were coming to school, then they would stand and talk and laugh at her. Then sometimes they waited for Wanda to have fun with her. The next day, Tuesday, Wanda was not in school either, and nobody noticed her absence again. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who didn't crack in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda wasn't there. Now came after 2 days on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, they at once they noticed that Wanda was not there. And these were the girls who got, they always sat with the children who got good marks in front seats, and they did not track in a whole lot of mud, and their feet were generally clean, their shoes were generally clean when they came to school. They did not track means they did not walk in the mud. Peggy was the most popular girl in school. She was pretty. She had many pretty clothes and her hair were curly. Maddie was her closest friend. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence was because Wanda had made them late to school. And notice also, they noticed because today they were late to school. They had waited and waited for Wanda to have some fun with her, and she just hadn't come. They often waited for Wanda Petronsky to have fun with her. Now, Wanda Petronsky, most of the children in room number 13 didn't have names like that. Now they're saying in that room nobody had the children because she was Polish girl, and many of the children in the class, they were all Americans. They had names easy to say like Thomas, Smith or Ellen. There was one boy named Bounce, Willie Bounce, and people thought that was funny, but not funny in the same way that Petronsky was. So there was one boy who had Willie Bounce, though they made fun of his name, but not in the way as Wanda Petronsky was thought as funny as. Wanda didn't have many friends. Any friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that didn't hang right. Didn't hang right means didn't fit properly to her. It was clean, but it looked as though it had never been ironed properly. वो साफ तो थी, but उसको ऐसा लगता था कभी iron भी नहीं किया. She didn't have any friends, but a lot of girls talked to her. Sometimes they surrounded her in the schoolyard as she stood watching the little girls play hopscotch on the worn, hard ground. Now, hopscotch is a game in which children hop. They jump into and over squares marked on the ground. You know, hopscotch जिसमें jump करके हम squares को बदलते हैं. So she always noticed those girls. Wanda, Peggy would say in a most courteous manner. Courteous means polite manner, as though she were talking to Miss Mason, to their teacher. बड़ी politely वो से पूछती है Peggy. Wanda, she would say, giving one of her friends a nudge. And she would give one of her friends a nudge. Nudge means a gentle push करते हुए दूसरी friend को बोलती है, tell us, how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? Closet means in your almirah. 100, Wanda would say. 100, exclaimed all the little girls incredulously. And the little ones would stop playing hopscotch and listen. So when Wanda would say 100, so all the girls, they just say 100 incredulously. Incredulously means unbelievingly, unwillingly to believe. ये सोचते हुए कि ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता. And they would stop playing. Yay, 100 all lined up, said Wanda. Then her thin lips drew together in silence. What are they like? All silk, I bet, said Peggy. Then Peggy would not leave her. Peggy से कहती है, अच्छा, what are they like? All silk? I bet, I promise, I swear. Yay, all silk, all colors, said Wanda. Velvet too. Yay, velvet too, 100 dresses. Wanda would repeat stolidly. Stolidly means not showing any emotion, not showing any feeling. All lined up in closet. Then they would let her go, and then before she had gone very far, They couldn't help bursting into shrieks and peals of laughter. And when they have seen that she has not gone very far, then they would burst into shrieks. Shrieks is short, loud noise in a high voice. तेजी से हंसना जल्दी से. And peals of laughter means loud sound of laughter. 100 dresses, obviously. The only dress Wanda had was the blue one she wore every day. They couldn't believe because she said 100 dresses, and obviously means clearly she had only one blue dress she wore. So why did she say she had 100? What a story. How many shoes did you say you had? 60 pairs, all lined up in the closet. Cries of exaggerated politeness greeted this, all alike. And when she said that she has got 60 pairs of shoes in the Almira, then the cries of exaggerated. Exaggerated means to make something seem larger, more important, better or worse than it really is. बढ़ा चढ़ा कर कहना, पोलाइटनेस से कहते थे उसे, बड़ा बढ़ा चढ़ा कर उसे पूछते थे, ऑल अलाइक, क्या वो सब एक से हैं, सेम? Oh no, every pair is different. All colors, all lined up. Then Wanda would say, no, no, all the pairs are very, very different, different colors. Peggy, who had thought up this game, and Maddie, her inseparable friend, were always the last to leave. And though other girls they would move, but these two would not leave. Finally, Wanda would move up the street, her eyes dull and her mouth closed, hitching her left shoulder every now and then in the funny way she had, finishing the walk to school alone. So, and then she would move up, her eyes very, very dull, very, very sad, and her mouth closed. She did not say anything, hitching her. Hitching means so she would go hitching her left shoulder. Hitching means moving by jerk. Okay, giving a jerk to her left shoulder, and then she would go to school. Peggy was not really cruel. She protected small children from bullies. Bullies means those who use their strength or power to frighten weaker people. They are called bullies. So she always protected the smaller children from these bullies, some powerful girls or the senior girls. And she cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. She had also sensitive heart. She would cry if she saw any animal mistreated, with cruelty done on it. If anybody had said to her, "Don't you think that she's cruel? That is a cruel way to treat Wanda," she would have been very surprised. Cruel? Why did the girl say she had 100 dresses? Anybody could tell that that was a lie. Why did she want to lie? And she wasn't just an ordinary person, else. Why did she have a name like that? Anyway, they never made her cry. So Peggy had all the clarifications for that. If somebody said that why she is so cruel to Wanda, she would say that why she's lying. That Wanda always lied to them, and she always said that she has 100 dresses, and why she has a different name. So this is all about in my this video. Thank you. Stay safe.